Welcome to another episode of I'm Dying to Tell You. I'm trying an experiment today. I'm recording both YouTube video and a TikTok video. So I have my iPhone right underneath the camera lens, and we'll see how this works out. What I wanted to talk to you about today is perspective. Because a lot of people are asking me, how are you keeping perspective about what you're going through? You know, this illness that could be a little bit on the terminal side. And it reminded me of an anecdote from many years ago when I saw a elderly woman who came in, and she was attractive, had a lot of makeup on. She was probably in her late 80s, which was old way back then, or older way back then. And her hands were swollen, her knuckles were swollen, and she was bemoaning how she was going to have to resize her rings. Because of her swollen knuckles. And I did my best to be compassionate and empathic. And I think I did a good job of it. But given all the different kinds of people I saw, this, in my mind, wasn't as big a problem as what they had. And then another woman came in 2 hours later, and she looked like the witch in Snow White. She was bent over with horrible arthritis, and she was walking in slowly with a cane, and she had a huge smile on her face. And the contrast was stunning. And so I said to her, why are you smiling? And she looked at me and she said, I was just thinking how good this cane's going to look when I'm in a wheelchair in 5 years. So I thought, wow, what a great way to keep perspective. And something dawned on me recently, and I hope I don't get too emotional with you, although you've seen that before. One of the treatments that I may have to undergo is called a bone marrow transplant. And one of the side effects of it is you can have long-term problems with your cognitive abilities. And my creativity is probably one of my most prized possessions. And so I was just looking out at the world through the eyes and mind of someone who lost some of those abilities and maybe lost the ability to create these kinds of videos or even come up with insights of a lifetime. And I was just thinking how good this looks, that I can still think pretty clearly, have these revelations from this situation that I'm going through. And I was just appreciating how wonderful it is that my mind is still fairly clear if I'm looking at it from a mind that no longer is. So I just wanted to share that with you, and maybe you can do that. Now, for younger people, they're going to say, I can't get into that. But if you're over 70 or 75, and people live to be much older, if you can focus on what you still have and you're grateful for it, as opposed to what we usually do, which is focusing on what we've lost and have that bring us down, that might help you to keep perspective. So I hope that helps. And thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see how this experiment works with all the videos.